One of the first lines in the Philosopher's Stone describing Voldemort explicitly in the main narrative is when Hagrid says, "Some say he died. Codswallop in my opinion. Don't know if he had enough human in him left to die." And this is the start of Rowling's masterful breakdown of the preconceptions of evil and villainy that takes place throughout the series. So Rowling wrote into a genre where the heroes were good and the villains were evil. It was set on the back of this black and white moral paradigm. Yet her work sought to be emancipated from this. At first look, she tries to play on this archetype. She refers to Voldemort repeatedly as the Dark Lord. He has tons of black-robed minions, and there's a definite battle between good and evil. But at a closer look, Rowling seems to undermine this dichotomy by humanizing Voldemort's evil. The good characters, like with that very first line, intend to depict Voldemort as the epitome of evil, that, like the villains before him, to be evil was to be inhuman. But in the Chamber of Secrets, we get a first glimpse into this deconstruction of evil when Rowling in fact mirrors Harry with Riddle. She observes them as both half-bloods, orphans, raised by muggles, probably the only two Parselmouths to come out of Hogwarts since the great Slytherin himself. We even look something alike. This is further explored and developed in The Half-Blood Prince, where Voldemort's actions are actually deposited as not being a result of being inhuman, but being human. We see his alienation as a child, the abuse that he faced, and the lack of parental guidance. Like with Harry. And it doesn't sit with us right, because just as seeing a piece of Voldemort literally inside Harry gives us chills, we inevitably have to see Harry's humanity inside Voldemort. And we realise that the scary truth is that Harry could have become Voldemort. Throughout the series, Voldemort is transformed into a human adversary to struggle against, whose actions comes from flaws and brokenness, rather than some classical epitome of inherent evil like Melkor or Shaitan. And in a way, the struggle between Harry and Voldemort, because of their similarities, is like the struggle within Harry himself, which culminates with the revelation that only love can defeat the part of Voldemort that is inside of him, ending with his sacrifice. By the end of the series, Voldemort is no longer just this dark lord that everyone made him out to be. He is no longer Satan in the flesh. Rowling worked to articulate that evil and good was not just a creature of inherency, but a creature of humanity. That ultimately the story was not about good versus evil, but love versus hate. A subtle nod to all of this is Voldemort's demise, that she made a big point to make it to be an ordinary death. That all of Voldemort's endeavours to be more than human, to live forever, were ultimately futile, as he died at the age of 71, which, by the way, was about the average life expectancy for a male in England in 1998. But that is not the only way that Rowling helped to deconstruct the old paradigms of evil. But that is a story for another time.